this well-known rapper, and some violence, you know, that comes along with that. Like, how did that make you feel?
You know, in the feds, you move around. You don't like, you're not in like Illinois. You all over the place. Like I'll be out in California, I'll be out New York, I'll be down south. I'll be all over the place. So you don't really hear the impact. Because when I see them and when I talk to them, it's father and son, and they acting good boy on there.
Okay.
So I don't never get to hear about the OTF and what's going on out there. All of this, tell you the truth, Kirk, all this didn't come into my understanding until like I hit Victorville when I got the life sentence off me. That's when I found out about this. Other than that, when they're in the visiting room, they like church boys, they sitting there, they talking, you know. My old cronies from the street, they trying to handle situations for me and keep things calm and not tell me on the phone so I don't be worried about it, you know. So everybody kind of kept me in the blind to most of what was going on.
So you said that you gave back a lot of time, right? Because you're here with us today. So now you're Cred life coach. What has that been like for you?
This has been the thing that I needed in order to show amends for, see, a lot of people look at Big Durk and they see a figure which they think is something to glorify, something that's famous, something that to look up to. You know, you can't look up to something like that on my past like that when I was an instrument of the destruction of my own neighborhood. The very person that I come to hate about the way they did my mother selling her these drugs, I became that person. I became that individual that helped put another person's mother in that same situation, that helped put another person's father, sister, brother, auntie in that same situation. I don't want no one to think that glorifying what I did back then was a thing that you can sit up here and say, hey, he's like that, he's like that. No, I'm not like that, because I destroyed myself. I destroyed my community. I was destroying my people by doing these things. I didn't gang bang against nobody else. I was gang banging against my own people. I wasn't selling to nobody else. I was selling to my own people. So don't look at me in a way that you figure that this is a way that you can sit up here and say that he's all right. I wasn't all right. I'm all right now because I'm in a state of redemption. I'm in a state of repentance. So I owe this, Cred, to Cred. I owe this to Cred, you, Kirk, and all the brothers that brought me into this. Ali, all the brothers that brought me into it. I owe this first and foremost to God to show that I'm true about my redemption. I owe this to myself to right a lot of the wrongs I did out there. I owe this to my community to try to rebuild back what I destroyed out there. I owe this to my people to stop them to thinking that this is a life they need to live. We don't need to be killing one another. We don't need to be gang banging another one. We don't need opposition. You know that sentence they gave me, Kirk, that life sentence they gave me, that was a harsh sentence. That was harsh in the definition of what harsh is. They do things in state and the federal, give us harsh sentence. But you know who gave more harsh sentence than they do? We give each other harsh sentence. Capital punishment is placed upon everybody opposition. You see opposition, the first thing you do is give him capital punishment by killing him. And that's the worst thing you can do, is take a life. So you think sitting in jail, you looking at yourself and saying, hey, these people are doing me wrong. But you forgot you're doing the same thing, because you're doing capital punishment on anybody you run into out there. So these things got to stop, and we got to put the boots on the ground. We got to take me and everybody that's getting out this prison now and put boots on the ground and get to these youngsters and let them know this ain't no glorified life. This ain't no way to live.